want to talk about something serious. We all see this. We watch the police brutality. We
Mhm.
just seen the senseless violence with Breonna Taylor, Mike Brown. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. So I saw back in 2013, you were racially profiled too by a sheriff's deputy in South Carolina in a traffic stop. Can you tell the viewers how you felt about that, what happened, and what was that like?
I started a whole FBI investigation. Unfortunately, it was dropped because we lived. um, I was stopped by the only car in the county that did not have a camera that worked. He had no body cam that worked conveniently. I was scared, like every other Black person, when you get pulled over and it's a problem. When he put on his leather gloves, I knew that it was all going downhill from there. And it wasn't a traffic stop, I was already stopped. I was pulled over taking pictures of cotton. And when I asked him for a watch commander or a supervisor, and I told him, I said, can you please call a watch commander or supervisor on the scene because you're making me nervous? I was told, I will arrest you before I call a supervisor. And I said, arrest me for what? And he told me stealing cotton.
That's crazy.
He did a non-consensual search of all of our belongings. And he kept asking to open the trunk. And I was like, for what? There was luggage in there. But he was like, there's a dead body in there for all I know. But I was scared to let him open the trunk because I didn't want to end up in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then luckily another officer pulled up. I'm fat ass white boy. And I was scared. I don't know about all because, but he looked like a skinhead, 6'5", bald head. He ended up being, and this is why stereotypes are not good. Because the little cute cop who looked like a surfer was the mean racist one.
Wow.
And this 6'5" skinhead who could have crushed me was like, come here and tell me what's going on. And I told him, and he was like, what do you have in your trunk? And I was like, you can look. And he looked at me and he said, don't let this taint how you feel about South Carolina. And I said, if you take these handcuffs off me, I'm never coming back. You ain't got to worry about me. I will never spend $1 in South Carolina. South Carolina ain't gonna see me no more. And so he took my handcuffs off and I hugged him because I thought I was gonna die in that cotton field.
I know that was very scary for you. People don't understand how it is, man, like what Black people go through,
It's not the only time I've ever been pulled over and harassed. I mean, I grew up in a white neighborhood, unfortunately, in Ventura County in California. And Westlake Village, growing up in the 80s and 90s, there weren't a lot of Black kids. So there was a time when every time I got in my car, I actually got pulled over by Ventura County Sheriff. So I became very knowledgeable, I would say, about my rights and the correct terms to use. I've never been rude, but I never felt like I was gonna die. And in South Carolina, I felt like I was gonna die.
Man, I know that was a scary. Have you been back to South Carolina?
I ain't never going back to South Carolina.
She said, I ain't. It's like I said, I
ain't. South Carolina can kiss my ass. In fact, I had a job. I had booked a film and it worked in South Carolina, and I told them I passed. I'm not.
Well, listen, nobody in St. Louis, Missouri, but not.
Better I come to the Lou any day. I got some love for the Lou.
There we go. St. Louis in the house. Yeah, heard that. So, Cherie, was Around the World Twice? Was that your first book you wrote, or was it Peaches and Cream?
No, Around the World Twice was my first book, okay, and I hate to say, please don't buy it.
Why not?
Because my co-author has passed on, and it's owned by another publisher who doesn't pay her children.
Wow.
So maybe I will re-release it differently, and then we can support it. But
do not support that.
Yeah, my co-author, her name is Kathy Scott, who is one of my best friends in the world, died from cancer a couple of years ago. And so this is close to my heart, but please don't purchase it because I feel like it's only right that the proceeds would go to her children, and they don't.
Okay. So how did you feel when COVID hit, the pandemic?
I was scared and confused, and I didn't really I didn't expect for it to last as long.
Yeah, me either.
But let me tell you, I'm antisocial, so my life ain't really changed.
Like, I'm cool anyway.
I think it was kind of great because for the first time in my life, I got to sleep in my own bed for like a year. I had never slept in my own bed. I had kind of like lived hotel. My family had traveled so much because of work and stuff. It was nice to reconnect with my family. It really gave us, you know, I unfortunately, a lot of families didn't make it.
Yeah.
It was either like a make or break situation. But for us, it was amazing because mommy didn't have to leave to go to work. Nobody had to like get on a plane or, you know, sit in a hotel room for 16 hours while mommy went to work. So it was nice. It's still nice. I'm still living, you know.
I feel the same way. I'm the same person. I do a lot of my work just from home. So it ain't really changed nothing to me. It just got me a lot of more work that I was doing. So
yeah, absolutely. And it was like the birth of the podcast for me.
Yeah, yes.
It's been a ton of fun. I got to catch up with my friends, people, you know, and I get to do it from my office, you know, while I hand her a snack and then I get off for a little while and I go make dinner, then I come back.
See, there you go.
It's nice.